What's up? What it do? And we back with another video. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? So check this out. Remember I told you in my last video I was gonna do something a little different, right? So I'm gonna do a little different video. Um, this video is really about just to give you a what you say? I want to say a alert, not alert, but a warning. You know what I mean? Just something, you know what I mean, to drop a seed somewhere and just keep it and just keep going. You know what I mean? Because once again, this is what this channel is for. You know, I'm putting medicine in the candy. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all sit back, watch the video, tell me what y'all think. Now leave y'all comments in the bottom. You know what I mean? Bottom of the video. Let's get to the video.
I went my whole life not believing that hell was real. I said, I didn't want to believe in all that dark stuff, there's no hell. That's what I thought, but there is a hell.
Jordan Samuel believes there's a hell because he believes he's been there.
I could hear cackling, like laughing, like laughs. They were demons. I could hear stuff.
Earlier in his life, he never believed hell existed.
If I live my life and do the best I can do, like karma-wise, what goes around comes around, I'll just be the best man that I can be.
He grew up in Edmonton.
All right, so we're gonna just stop right there off the rip. Yes, this is one of those videos. Yeah, this is a part of me too. If y'all want to get to know me, this is a part of what I think of and in my walk of life too. You know what I mean? I think of these things too, and I like watching things like this too. So with this video, I feel like off the rip, you know what I mean, by him saying that, it's really all about the mental and where you at in life. You know what I mean? Like your memory bank. Because remember, when people say they passed away or they're transitioning, they start reflecting. It's like your memory bank start just dropping everything out of it. You know what I mean? On you, and you just seeing it play out, like every second of it, just seeing it play out, clips of it, of the things you remember that you push to the back of your mind. You know what I mean? So I feel like when it comes to heaven and hell, I feel like it's all about the mental with your higher power. Because if you know you wasn't living right deep down inside, you can't expect anything good to come out of that. You know what I mean? You really got to be wholeheartedly sold on what you really doing, positive or negative. Because if you going trying to be better ways, you know what I mean, you showing one thing but you really feel another, it's gonna turn out bad for you. And that's why a lot of people probably feel like they be shocked. Because I've seen movies and stuff and things like that, or people, like I said, crossing over. They be like, well, I did this and I did that, but it really wasn't from the purity of your heart. You were doing it to get recognition, to try to get a token for it. You know what I mean? And that's a difference. That's a big difference from just doing things from the heart and then you doing things just to get a look or an image. You know?
In British Columbia with a single mom and went to a Catholic school. He was naturally inquisitive and asked a lot of questions about Jesus.
How could one man come and just die for me? And, who is this guy?
And for that, he was kicked out of class.
But my third time getting kicked out of class, I remember saying, you know what? I never want to know this Jesus guy. Whoever he is, he just gets me in trouble and I just get kicked out of class and no one wants to give me answers about him. And this is how people treat me. I don't want to know.
Just testing you,
his
man.
His mom married, and for the next 15 years, Jordan says his family life was great. Then his mom and stepdad divorced. Jordan was devastated. The only way he knew how to deal with the pain was to rebel.
So whether that was drinking and driving with buddies and underage driving, stealing cars, and, getting stereos and having the thrill of, almost someone catching me, but not quite.
For the next 4 years, Jordan continued his reckless behavior. But he wanted to turn his life around, so he stopped selling drugs and started working for an oil rig company.
I was making really good money at a really good house.
After work one day, Jordan decided to smoke some pot. He didn't know the pipe he used was laced with crack cocaine.
Oh, man.
Something he had never done before. Jordan was sure he was dying.
And see, and that's how it be too. That's how, I promise you, that's how it be. It be that way where, you know what I mean, you playing the devil playground, then boom, he catch you. You know what I mean? But then once again, if anybody know about the book of Job, you know what I mean, This is the prime example right here. He's the example of Job, you know what I mean? And what he went through and the trials and tribulations he had to go through to get to where he at today, you know what I mean? But he also still had faith. Through all the things he did, he still had faith in his higher power and believed what he believed in and kept it going, try to stay positive. Once again, it's about the mindset. It's about the heart, you know? Sometimes it's not even about what you serve and with your flesh. You know what I mean? Like what you dress up and go to a place for. You know what I mean? Sometimes people do it for that, and it's really not about that. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I pray every single day. I pray every day. You know what I mean? At least once a day. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You gotta remember what you put out into the universe, you get it. It comes to you. As long as you're working towards it, it comes to you. So with that being said, is if you're praying for peace, you're gonna start working towards peace, and peace gonna come to you. If you're praying for prosperity, if you keep working towards it and doing the right things to put yourself in place, you will get that. You know what I mean? You gotta show approval first. You gotta show approval first to show that, you know what I mean, you're worthy of having it, you're worthy of keeping it and maintaining it before it's given to you. And then you'll know the right time, because you'll feel it, you'll hear it. You'll know the right time, like, hey, it's time to do it now. It's time to make that move. You know?
You feel my heart going boop, 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 slowing down, boop, 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 and then boop, 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 like fluttering.
Jordan believes in that moment he went to hell.
All these women and all the things you think you want in the world, money, cars, success, you know, all these things that I had, and I was driving, I was just loving it. And then all of a sudden this car broke down. All of a sudden these women turned to huge demons, and it earthquaked. And I look behind me and I can hear screaming. It's all red and black. Turn around, get out of here. It sounded like people burning, people that were just burning, that couldn't find a cure or a fix to anything. It was just the worst. And I remember being afraid, gripping the steering wheel, and then all of a sudden it was like, I'm back to my body in the trailer room.
As Jordan was taking what he thought was his last breath, he made a declaration of faith to God.
And my heart's going boom, boom, like the last beat. Not even knowing why, I just said, I believe. And all of a sudden, boom, I'm gone.
That's when Jordan says Jesus pulled him out of hell and took him to heaven.
He was all in white. He was in a robe when I saw him. And he looked at me, and he wears a crown on his head. And his eyes are fierce like fire, but there is no like color, just bright looking at me. And he just is amazing. You're at his feet. You're at the Lord's feet because he's just perfect. You worship him because he's the Almighty. You worship him because he saved us.
Then Jordan
Now, some people might think he crazy. Some people might think that, you know what I mean? I believe him. I ain't gonna lie. I believe him. I believe it's a heaven and hell. The question is, where is heaven and where is hell? You know, is this heaven that we live in now? But we just so complacent and we so comfortable that every little thing we just complain about like we always do. We can go get a brand new car. I'm guilty of it. I get a brand new car. Just got one not even a year ago, and I'm already tired of it. I want to get a new car. Not because the car messing up or anything, because the car's a great car, great mileage on it, beautiful car. You know what I mean? And it's fast. But at the same time, I want something else. You know what I mean? And that's just because of how humans are. We're like that. Once we get something, we get used to it. We want to change and get in. And you know what I mean? Get something new. And yeah, that's just how it is, man. But at the same time, like I said, I believe him. I believe everything he's saying, you know what I mean, when it comes to that. When it comes to God and heaven and hell. I mean, it's yes, for sure. It's real. It is real. But this video got me thinking about a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, while I'm watching it. If y'all, you know what I mean, don't see me saying too much, I got a lot of stuff going. I'm thinking in my head, like for instance, when it come to kids, you know what I mean, and divorce and everything like that, and like just separation. It does draw a lot into a child, because I was once one of those kids, you know what I mean? And for a moment, it didn't feel well. It took me a while to push through and get over that, you know? But I managed, you know what I mean? I managed. But then I got to realize that, you know what I mean? Other kids going through the same thing too. So you got to have grace and mercy for the, you know what I mean? For the most part. And, even the parents too, they go through a lot. It's a big transition, you know? But at the same time, as long as you got the man upstairs, he got you. He got you. No matter what, he got you. You got yourself, you got him, you locked in forever. Sure.
Believes he was standing before God.
The Lord went to the right hand of the Father, and I began to get judged by the Father. And it was the worst, because what happened was he played secrets in my heart that I locked away, that I only knew that I ever did. And I thought no one could do, and I could feel what God felt. And I said, Lord, forgive me. Like, it was the worst feeling. And he just comes in and he hugs you. He says, all is forgiven. My old heart was broken. My old heart needed fixing. And God gave me a new heart. All of a sudden, he told me he loved me, that I'm not alone, that I've never been alone. He showed me all the times in my life where I thought I was lucky, that I thought I was alone, but how his hand was always just upon me. And he was always right there pursuing me nonstop.
That's Job,
He
man.
hugged me again, told me he loved me. And all of a sudden, I was like, I'm back in my trailer room on the floor. I grabbed the Bible. It was like it was glowing, and I held it. I opened up the Bible. First thing I ever read out of the Bible was Psalms 34. The happiness of those who trust in God. I began to read it, and it was everything that just happened to me. Only God can do that.
Jordan shared his journey to heaven and hell with his girlfriend Danica.
His voice changed, his eyes changed, his body language changed. Everything about him was new. It was different. So there was no doubting that he had had the experience that he did.
My mouth, my words, swearing, everything was like cleansed. I was delivered from any addiction I had.
Today, Jordan and Danica are married with 2 children. They're missionaries preaching the gospel around the world. They're letting everyone know Jesus is real and that he can change the most hardened heart with his love.
God loves the broken and loves the lost, and he doesn't give up on them. He loves them with all his heart. He leaves the flock to find the one, and he did.
All right, that's the end of that video, y'all. And that's true though. That's true. Like I said, I believe in a higher power. I believe something out there bigger than me for sure, because I done had some experiences in my life where I didn't supposed to make it to 20, 19 actually. You know what I mean? And then not even that. Like I had it kind of rough for a minute, for a few years. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things could have went left easy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, things was like it was just like something was protecting me. Like no lie, something was protecting me. Something was telling me in my head, don't do this, don't do that, don't go there, don't do this. And then like a sign appear. Like I pray, like show me a sign as you, show me a sign as you. Boom, and it happens. And like my higher power is different from everybody else's higher power. How I look at mine, you know what I mean? How I look at him is how I look at him. How I talk. Not him, or it's just a higher being, you know what I mean? That I give reverence to, you know. And some people name him Jesus. Some people name him that their name, you know what I mean? Everybody have their name. Everybody have their way to talk to him. I talk to him regularly. Not like I'm talking to myself, you know what I mean? Not like that. But you know, like when I'm meditating and stuff like that. Yeah, like then, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he know your heart. Why am I trying to put a front on for him for? Or you know what I mean? Why? It doesn't make sense. But then I feel like a lot of people don't want to deal with this type of situation, this conversation, because they afraid. You know what I mean? And it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you gotta know and understand that this flesh is gonna be here, but this your mental, the thing that may have you thinking when you're quiet, you hear it, you feel it. that part of you is going somewhere else. Where is it gonna go? And if you've seen the video where he said, and a lot of people say it too, when they pass away, they don't take, the body stays. It never goes with them. It stays here. The inside, the mental goes and take off. And goes to the transition to transform into what it need to be to see what it need to see. Some of them come back, some of them don't. So like I said, I'm not trying to, I am gonna say this, you know what I mean? Believe in something. Just don't be out here just walking around believing in nothing. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You know, I'm locked in with y'all. You know, with all my supporters. I'm locked in with everybody. Hey, don't just be out here walking around just not believing in something. Like, you gotta believe in something. You know what I mean? Just because it's not safe. It's not safe to do that. But if you do, you know what I mean? More power to you. You know what I mean? More power to you. I can't get mad. Can't judge. To be honest, I really can't, because who am I? I'm regular Joe Smoke just like everybody else is. But this video was just to spark conversation, you know what I mean? Through with the people, you know what I mean? See how they feel about it. It's not a back and forth or this and that. It's not none of that. It's just conversation. Talk about your culture, you know what I mean? When you like, what's your culture talk about? You know, in your religion, what do y'all talk about when y'all do this transitioning? What happens? What's the steps? You know, what's the procedure? What happened? Things like that. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Because I'm very intrigued on to hear what y'all got to say about it for real, to see how y'all feel about it. Like, no lie. Cause I want to know. You know what I mean? I'm in my small little city. You know what I mean? Small me. Doing, you know, I don't do too much. You know, I do a little bit, but nothing too much, for real. And I don't know all the religions. I don't know what they talk about and how they talk and how they feel and what they think. So hey, here we go. Time to chat. Let's get it. Let's chat it up. But this was you know what I mean, short video. I just wanted to see how far, you know what I mean, how far this can go. How many people really like, you know what I mean, think it's cool to talk about things like this, and maybe we can do some more videos, you know what I mean? And other than that, welcome this Dave's channel, you know what I mean? Dave's channel 444, you know what I mean? Peace.